Nikki Samuels, and I am pro-life.
I am Levante Reddick, and I am pro-choice.
Simply because, you sit down, everybody knows what sex does. It is there to recreate another living being. So I don't feel that just because some people get into circumstances to where, I'm not ready to take care of a child, or I don't have the funds to take care of a child. Like, I think, yes, I wouldn't want a child to grow up in bad circumstances, but at that point, that's where you need to buckle down and do what you need to do to take care of your child. I grew up with a mother who didn't have support from her family. She completely left them at 18, and she had 2 children and was in a sorry marriage with a guy who was barely there because he was in the military as well. So he was gone 6 months out of the year. So she did what she had to do to take care of us. Yeah. And she did it all on her own. Just by that determination. Now I know that there's rape cases. I do think that in those circumstances, they should be able to choose whether they want that child. Because I wouldn't want somebody to look at that child and see their rape for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like that's appropriate or right, or even right for the child to live up with that. Mm-hmm. Because, once again, they didn't ask to be here.
Yeah.
So,
Smuggle.
Yeah.
That reason is the main reason I'm pro-choice. I have to say I'm pro-choice, because in a situation like rape, I feel like a woman should have that choice to do that. Now, there may be women who could endure that situation, have that child, and give it up for adoption or something, and still give it a chance to, to have life and whatever it embarks on. But I think it should be a choice at that point. But if you just, in 8th grade, you're 14, and you and somebody discover sex and you get pregnant, I don't think that's an excuse to just say, no, I'm not going to have a child. Because at that point, even though you were young and naive, there's nothing connected to it like the situation with the rape that could bring on a lifelong trauma. You know what I'm saying? And that could start generational trauma. So in that situation, I feel like I'm pro-life. And then in the other situation, I feel like I'm pro-choice. So I have to take the pro-choice stance. But I see kind of both alleyways, but I just have to pick that way because of that choice. So.
Yeah. And I also feel like for guys and standpoints too. What if the girl decides she doesn't want the child, but the guy does?
True.
There's nothing the guy can do to stop her from not having that child, even though he fully supportedly wants that child, even though she
right. And
has
she
the
could
choice
have it
to
and
say.
not be a part of his life.
But most women ain't gonna do that. Once they have the child, they already have that connection, and they're gonna wanna,
Yeah.
But there are some men who really want the child, and I feel like for them, they're caught in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Because she has a choice.
Because we say, women have the choice to do, because they're the one who bear it for 9 months, but you wouldn't have the child if he didn't put the seed in.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, in regards, since both of y'all identify as black, in regards to, as far as the numbers, when you look at abortion rates, and we're definitely leading that by a great margin.
Yeah.
Even though we're a small portion of the country, we actually lead that. Mm-hmm. What's your stance on that, as far as, I guess, black mothers or black couples choosing to abort? And most of them, I would say, probably are on a younger age, but even the older ones. What's y'all stance on as far as a lot of black children being aborted, and not necessarily. I think some cases are rape, but even the other cases as well.
It's a lot of other cases.
Yes.
Like I growing up in high school, man, I plenty of my friends who done took their girlfriends right on down to, you know what I'm saying, who done slipped up, and I don't agree. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't agree. It's like I said, it's certain situations where that choice should be made. You know what I'm saying? Like he was fully, or she, or whoever it is, was fully capable of taking care of that life. It was just in high school. Like you just in high school, you made that choice though. But in the black community, I do feel like there's an agenda set and a narrative being pushed for our young girls to encourage them to get that done. It's Planned Parenthood on the corners of every black neighborhood in the inner city. So
But how many of them are in the white ones?
Yeah, and then the lack of clinics or hospitals on that same block where you got 4 abortion clinics within 1 mile.
Exactly, yeah. So it's definitely, I feel like there's a narrative being pushed, and I think as the black community, we gotta take control of the situation and educate our young people and reach them before that narrative does. You know what I'm saying? And then kind of turn that thing around, because the numbers are staggering.
And I totally agree with him, everything he said. I do believe we just need to better educate. I mean, yes, we all know about sex, but sex is just pushed so much through America. It's hard for any kid not to go through school and at least try it, and then boom, you're caught in a situation that's a lifelong consequence. And I don't think we are properly teaching kids about your decision. What you do now can affect your future later. So
is there a right or wrong answer to aborting a child?
I guess from our conversation, it's situational. I feel like if you were in a situation against your will and you had a child, then you should have the choice. But for me, other than that, you sat down, the consequence, and you should have to, at what point, how are you held accountable for it? If you can just go and abort every child that you don't want.
So in simple terms, if you have consensual sex, then you should have the child, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about the individual where, let's just say the woman was raped, and let's just say should the person that was raped look at the child as a light at the end of the tunnel type of thing, or a blessing disguised in a curse in some instance? Where
I don't know how she would look at it.
But I feel like that would be dependent on the person. Like I said, it's some women who could probably endure that and carry that child and give it up for adoption if they had to, and not, you know what I'm saying, not have to raise it and look at it and see and relive the memory of being raped. And there's some women who just could not bear going through to that stage. You know what I'm saying?
I like how you brought up adoption. Instead of aborting, should a person at least look into the choice of adopting? Because why rob the child or that potential human being of a chance at life just because of something that happened to you? I
definitely think so, man. That should be the next option.
Yeah.
If you decide that you don't want to, raise a child, the next option should never just be to get rid of. Like, there's other avenues you can take. There's people who try to have babies year after year and can't. You know what I'm saying? You can be a blessing to somebody. But yeah, I definitely think they should take that in consideration before abortion.
Do you think that a lot of people are thinking about a lot of people are thinking about adoption rather than abortion, or it's just like a second, like it's like it's like something that just clicks in their head to say, you know what, I can't take care of this child, so I'm just gonna take myself out of the situation by doing the most easiest but the most worst thing in the world.
If a lady would want to carry a child for 9 months and have to give it up.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot one has to endure.
Yeah, and I was 18 when I found out I was having my baby, so a lot of it too, I think, is just the fear. When you scared, you act different.
How old are you now?
I'm 25.
25.
So, like, when you scared, you act different. It's fight or flight. And for some people, their flight is, I gotta just get rid of it now, because I'm scared right now, and boom. You know what I'm saying? Some people fight.
How was it with you when you were 18?
I was the fighter. I was ready for it. I was,
And what moment did you feel like you was like scared? Like, was it your woman telling you, like, you know what, Vontae, I'm pregnant? Or was it after the fact where it kind of like sunk into your head, like, I am 18 with or without a job and I need to do whatever I need to do to make it happen?
It was kind of after I saw the big bump. It wasn't like initial. Like, I was scared initially, but after I seen, like, is somebody finna come out of that for real? And it's on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a different kind of scared than shoot in the beginning. I would say I was more scared to tell my folks than of having a baby.
How did your folks take it?
They didn't take it bad. Of course they was typical, like, you know, they gonna give you the smack on the wrist. but they took it well, if you ask me. They took it well. And I was in college. I was 18, but I was in college. So it wasn't like I was in high school or whatever. I was still being supported, but yeah, I feel like they took it well. They ain't bash me or anything. They embraced me.
Yeah, how was it for you, Nikki, dating someone with a child? Because I know a lot of people have this scenario of like, I can't date a man if he got a kid, so he got kids, you know. But how was it for you to date someone with a child, per se?
I personally don't have a problem with it. I do see how some people do, because there are certain obstacles that you do have to overface. It's not just you and me, it's you, me, and your little one. Like, so I have to take into account everybody and not just me and him. And then there's the other parent as well that you have to take into account. Like, we all have to be on the same page in order for anything to work smoothly. So, but I grew up with separated parents, and I grew up with my dad who was dating different women. So, I seen different women coming in and out of his life. Some would make good connections with me, some wouldn't. So I didn't want to be that person who wouldn't make a good connection with another child. Like, they didn't ask for anything. If anything in the world, they would want their parents together like I did. So I'm just here for support and to be the, I don't know how to say it, but just be that extra helping hand.
All in all, I feel like we kind of met at the middle. We kind of had the same ideas and beliefs on it when it came to the choice side, and then when it came to the pro-life side. She just leaned one way more, and I leaned one way, you know. And so we had to make that choice at the end of the day. But I do feel like it's some gray areas in there that we both kind of connected on. So yeah, that's my spiel.
As an overview of our conversation, I would definitely have to agree with you. I do believe that we did meet in the middle, as you said, on our differences. And I definitely do see where you're coming from with your pro-choice. But as I would be more towards situational circumstances that I think would just have to be handled a little differently. But overall, I think we had good conversation.